game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports. Game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.
Yes, indeed, it's definitely time for Game On, and we are certainly big on sports. A very good afternoon, and welcome to the show. Welcome back from the festivities. Hopefully, you did have yourselves a fantastic Christmas day, and certainly Boxing Day as well. And for those that spend time with family, I do hope it was definitely fruitful for you and your loved ones as well. But hey, the countdown is on. There is coming to a climax as well. And do remember, guys, let's continue to be safe. Let's continue to take very good care of ourselves. But welcome back from that weekend. Welcome to a fresh and brand new week. Quite the eventful weekend in terms of sport, because for Joshua Cheptegei, he had his annual Cheptegei run in Kapchorwa, and I must say it was quite the success. Also, we'll be discussing the 25-man squad that has been summoned by the Uganda Cranes head coach, that is Jonathan McKinstry, ahead of the CHAN, that is the pre-tournament that will be starting next week. And later on the show, KCCA, it looks like come next week when they do get to host AS Kigali in the return leg of the CAF Confederations Cup qualifiers. They'll be playing at the St. Mary Stadium in Chitende. The Real Star Awards return tomorrow. We'll be running you through some of the nominees who do we think had an outstanding November coming into December. And then later on, there was a lot of football across the board in the English Premier League. Wins for both Arsenal and certainly not forgetting clubs like Manchester City. Meanwhile, for Manchester United, for Tottenham and Liverpool, all dropping points over the weekend. But welcome aboard. My name is Brian Asimwe. As always, I'll be joined by Diego Soboga up until 3:30 p.m. Diego, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How are the holidays, first of all?
The holiday, you was here.
You are here.
On Christmas, I was here. Even on Boxing Day, I was here. So I spent most of my Christmas period here.
So when you tell some of your loved ones that you are working, do they understand it, or they feel like...
Why not? I have someone who understands me. Yeah, that someone understands me very well.
That is nice, because there are not so many people
When
like
I
that.
say I'm at work, definitely you won't question.
And yeah, it's coming to a climax, just a couple of days to go. And I must say, for me, the weekend came with a mixed kind of performance, because some sports going on a break, others happening. And it was also interesting to see athletes spending their time with families away from their usual, different disciplines.
Yeah, by the way, there is nothing good like that. More so if you have time to spend with your family when your bosses or your employers can understand it and pay you. More so for those who got Christmas packages, indeed you enjoy it. And those who were paid their salaries, you enjoy it. But those who did get their salaries, that means they didn't.
Okay, first things first, quite the eventful weekend. I must say, if you ask me for my highlight, interesting to see Cristiano Ronaldo being crowned the player of the century by the Dubai Globe Soccer Awards ahead of Lionel Messi. The discussion has been on who is the better player. Somehow Cristiano being voted there.
Now, if we had said that, I think the answer has been given. By that global award, because when you look at all the competitors, the Ronaldinho, the Salahs, and the Lionel Messi, I thought the battle would be between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And now, if you ask Ronaldo who is the genius of the century, I definitely will tell you that I'm the one. Though when you ask you ask Lionel Messi, he would say that, you know what, for them they just wanted to give it to Ronaldo. Maybe they don't cucumber Tira, so that's why they give it to him. But still, when you look at Ronaldo, what he has achieved in this century, I think he has achieved a lot with the different clubs, because he won 3 Premier League titles with Man United
in a row.
Then he won a Champions League in 2008 with the United. Then he went to Real Madrid and won Champions League 4 times. And again winning the La Liga 3 times. I think that alone puts him ahead of Lionel Messi, more so as that person who has been in one club ever since he started playing, rather he started playing his professional football. So I think Ronaldo deserved it.
There you go. The conversation is on the Dubai Globe Soccer Awards. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is the player of the century? Something we'll also be discussing for the rest of the winners later on in the show. But then also, we are asking through the Game On poll over the weekend. Actually, on Friday, on Christmas Day, the goalkeeping coach of the Uganda Cranes, Fred Kajoba, floating the COVID guidelines that were put in place for the whole team that was in camp for the CHAN, leaving the team camp to go for prayers, and ultimately him being sacked from his duty and also being sent home as well. So the question we are asking on Game On poll, do you think it was the right decision that was made? Feel free, head down to social media, Facebook, Urban Television, Twitter, and Urban TV Uganda. Cast your votes, yes or no. Was it right for him to be sacked, or you think he should have been pardoned given he was going for prayers? But quickly, let's jump into the show now. Cheptegei, that is Joshua Cheptegei, the golden boy. The Cheptegei ran over the weekend. Last year they had about 1,000 participants. This year they had to have it, reduce it to half because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But the targets as always, discover talent, reward them, give them opportunities, and the success.
You know, when someone comes up with such a brilliant and a pregnant idea, you just praise the guy who has come up with that initiative. Because there are so many talents in that region. And the person that needs to, that have to help those talents to be tapped, they are those that are in sports already. And more so those that have achieved something great on the global scene. So when Cheptegei comes up with such an initiative, I think he's doing it for the good of Uganda and the community, and more so he wants to leave a legacy in case he retires. You never know in few times to come if he retires, what the next Cheptegei could be among those that are involving in his run.
Because Diego, we know for sure currently Cheptegei is arguably one of the most prominent athletes or individuals coming out of Kapchora, and the more he has gone on to succeed, the more he has given back to the community where he comes from. He's building a high altitude training center in Teriet. He's built a school for the kids. He always gives to the churches, to the communities there, and he believes where he has come from, there's a lot more talent, and we know the kind of potential a place like Kapchora does have. How much of an opportunity is this for the kids?
Oh my God, it's a great opportunity to the kids, because when you look at the way he gives back to the community, much as is an athletics, it's an athlete, but he also gives back to the community through sponsoring football clubs. There are teams, local teams in that area that usually he always gives football jerseys, bibs, shoes, what. So he is not only identifying athletes, but he's also trying to promote different sports disciplines in that area. So I think he is doing something that will make him a legend or a king when it comes to that region, as far as Cheptegei is concerned, because whatever he's doing it for the community and for the entire country. It is not only benefiting his family or himself, but the entire country is benefiting from that and the region.
For the rest of the sports personalities, we have so many that have gone on to succeed. It could be boxing, it could be rugby, it could be football, it could be athletics. So many of them, not many come back to give back to where they come from, or to basically have an impact on the communities that they come from. For Cheptegei, he's led by example. He's been the trailblazer for the whole community. Should we start to hope and think that in the years to come, perhaps there's more athletes that take this kind of path?
You know, when I see Cheptegei doing this, he's not the only person that has done this. Some people have been doing it.
Well, like so many.
There are not so many, but the Onyangos, the Jamal Salims, the Branu Moniz, while they are praying abroad, they used to come back, and still they come back. For those who are still playing professional, they do come back and give back to the community, more so through their foundations, the Jalim Sama Sports Academy, what. So it's not only him, but still, when you see what Cheptegei is doing, he is not only involved in athletics, but he is also involved in developing other sports. That's the difference between him and the other guys that are playing different sports abroad.
Definitely. Definitely, that is Joshua Cheptegei for you. Brilliant initiative to give back to the community of Kapchora, and I'm sure he's left smiles on the faces of all the kids out there. Some of them going home with school bursaries, others going home with running equipment courtesy of Nike, among so many other things. So congrats to the kids that did take part in the Cheptegei run. Quickly, as we get ready for the new year 2021, now so many of the sports personalities and people involved in the disciplines have come out to speak about their expectations going into 2021, and we certainly sat down with some of them and shared the expectations and some of the things that they'll be focusing on come the new year. We spoke to a rally driver, a national team champion, that is Ronald Sebuguzi. We also spoke to one of the representatives from the university sports, that is Julius Agaba, and they shared their sentiments regarding what they're expecting come 2021. So let's get to hear from them and what they had to say.
Manya kange zero na Sebuguzi Sebuguzi wa Malkazi mpaka omwaka kuno kwa 2020 okutuweredde mwangu naye okusinziira kasi obulamu we buli abawagizi baffe bonna twagaliza omwaka omulungi 2020 nebye tuyiseemu kasa tulina obulamu tugende 2021 era mwena tubagaza omwaka omulungi n'essanyu paka omwaka ogujja.
Thank you, Julius Agaba is my name, Kabisha, from the Uganda Football Federation. Majorly, I participate in all duties of the federation as an assistant administrator and probably the national schools coordinator. To have an overlook in 2020, it was totally not a good year for sporting activities due to the challenges of COVID-19, but not so bad that we managed to do some of the simple activities, and most of them were part of the strategic partnerships with key partners in this country, because we couldn't do sporting events. However, we have a way to proceed, and we hope that 2021 will be one of the very active years, that we shall also have our cancelled Football World Cup in Thailand. We shall have more dreams to succeed in. Probably we shall start off our strategic plan that we have already documented. The strategic plan 2020-2025, it is on table, so we shall resume on it immediately, 2021. We wish all Ugandans a prosperous new year, and let them take care whatever they are doing, and hopefully we shall recover come 2021.
Definitely positivity, optimism as well coming through from sports administrators and athletes as well going into 2021. Sebuguzi says 2020 has been a tough year for sport. They are hopeful 2021 gets better. And then Julius Agaba, administrator from AUS, the university sports, says some of the events they did not have this year, they are hoping it comes to 2021. Is that the kind of sense we should get?
Yeah. What else would you expect from them? You always so you'd expect a positivity among them. But indeed, like Sebuguzi said, it hasn't been an easy year for everyone, not only in sports, in everything. It has been a difficult year because of the pandemic. Many things that would have been done if we were in the normal situation, they haven't been done. Very few, when you go to motocross, rally, very few events that have taken place just because of the COVID. But I thank God, if you go through when you're still alive, that is the biggest achievement you would love to see come next year. And if I can tell you what, Brian, to me, if I go through this year, I wouldn't say that it was a bad year for me just because I've gone through it when I'm alive. I don't know what is going to happen next year or what will happen. Do I know? Yeah. I don't know. Much as there has been, it has been a difficult year, but still, I'm still alive. Then let's pray that next year we can have all the sports calendars as they will be scheduled.
Because now the challenge is, it looks like the pandemic continues to strike. The hope is that we get a vaccine or something to be able to, contain it. But then also, most importantly, look at 2021. Some of the events that should have happened this year have been postponed there. The biggest one of the calendar is going to be the Olympics. There's a couple of qualifiers before that. We know tournaments like the Chan kickoff there. Later on in there, we've got AFCON qualifiers as well. The cricket guys have got a couple of races coming through for themselves, a couple of competitions. But for example, you look at the rally fraternity. They came out and confirmed that for them, had 2 races this year, they'll carry the rest of the calendar into 2021. And that will cover also for 2021.
So it's going to be 2 in 1.
It's going to be 2 in 1. The university sports guys had a meeting, I think 2 weeks ago, and they had consultations with different administrators on how they can be able to live with the pandemic, but also have sport returning. And you can see there is a new trend where new initiatives are coming up.
Man, we just need to play, because when you look at the likes of South Africa is now, it has worsened, so we don't know.
1 million cases.
Yeah, we don't know what will happen next year. We don't know the situation will be in Uganda. So even here in Uganda, you see the numbers are increasing. So we need just to pray that at least, God willing, and being merciful, at least he can put this pandemic down.
There you go. That is some of the sportsmen, some of the administrators speaking about what 2020 has come with for them and what they're expecting from 2021 going forward. Quickly, let's discuss the national football side, the Uganda Cranes, because training did come to a climax. That was before Christmas. And yesterday, the national team coach, that is Jonathan McKinstry, naming a 25-man squad as they head down to Cameroon for the pre-Chan tournament. Let's have a quick look at the 25 players that have been summoned for the tournament. And I'll start with the goalkeepers. There's 3 goalkeepers that are on that team, including Joe Mutakuwa from Chetume Football Club, Nafian Alionzi from URA Football Club, Tommy Kara coming in from Police. So 3 goalkeepers. You've got 8 defenders that have been added to the team. That includes Eric Senjebe from Police Football Club, Aziz Kayondo from Vipers, Paul Wheeler from Vipers, Ashraf Mandela from URA as well. As you look at the rest of the defenders, that do include Halid Waliwa, team captain at Vipers, Mustafa Mujuzi from Chetume, Patrick Imboa from URA, Hassan Muhammad, one of the new faces coming through from Police. Meanwhile, let's quickly look at Saidi Cheyune for the midfielders, Hassan Senyonjo from Wakiso Giants. Those are some of the midfielders, as we look at more of the other midfielders that have been added to the team. And also you've got Ben Ochen for the forwards, Ibrahim Morit, Vian Sekajuko, Joseph Semuju. Obviously, that's not the entire 25-man squad, but the names are still coming through. Joaquim Ojera, Milton Kalisa, Stephen Mokwala, Muhammad Shabanda from Vipers. Diego, as the names keep running on the screen, let's discuss some of the players that have been summoned, because a blend of both the experienced, the youth as well. Tony Maweje, one of the key leaders. Interestingly, Murushu Juko did not show face for the team that was summoned. What happened?
Murushu Juko, when he signed a contract with the Express, there was a clause that anytime if he gets a club, I will be going, and what the club Express the club will be doing, they will be getting a percentage on the money that the other team will pay, and that is 20%. Indeed, by the time Express played their last game, I had already prepared to travel to South Africa for trials in is it Maritzburg?
Maritzburg.
Yeah. So that's why he was unable to join the camp.
Okay, the players that have been summoned, we know the KCCA contingent will be joining this 25-man squad after the return leg to be played at Chitende. But the ones that have been taken, any surprises?
I don't know why. When I saw Eric Senjove, I'm not trying to undermine Eric Senjove's performance, but I think when I didn't see Disan Galuango, who was with the Cranes in the Nations Cup, I was so surprised, because is that someone who has been with the team. I thought his being there would have been automatically put him to the CHAN team. But when I see Eric Senjobe, Aziz Kayondo, and this Villa boy, Ndahiro, I was like, wow, what the hell is this going on? But all in all, they have already taken 25 players. But I thought Eric Senjobe would have not traveled with this team. Derek Ndahiro would have been a better player than Senjobe. I don't know, just maybe because of the coach, Abdallah Mbiru. He had an influence, that one I don't know. Then the other person who has traveled with the team, I think Eric Senjobe, the only person that I would say maybe would have first state and Derek Ndahiro are going.
Majority of the players that have been summoned are either coming from police or URA, or actually coming from Vipers Soccer Club. And then somehow we've got a couple of faces that have been around, because you look at Shafiq Kajimu from URA, you look at Saidu Chayune on this team. Obviously, we've spoken about players like Khalid Waliwa, who most recently was part of the AFCON doubleheader against South Sudan. Plenty of experience he's coming with. For the forwards, though, there had been a bit of concern about the fitness of Mohamed Shaban. It looked like last week he had picked up a knock in training. He's been able to shake that off, come back into the team. Stephen Mukwala, top scorer from last season, can he continue that run?
You know, when you do have Mohamed Shaban, at least you expect goals, because he's that natural goal scorer. Mukwala is a goal scorer too, but to me, having Shaban Mohamed on the team, that gives me hope that maybe a team will get goals. But still, when you look at the midfield, the players in the midfield, the Shafiq Kajimus, the Saidi Chayunes, there is no question about them. They are the best midfielders currently we do have in the country, more so in the league. And I think a team that has travelled, it is a team that any coach would have taken, apart from the few names that I've just mentioned.
Okay, let's get here from one of the players, that is Bobosi Biaruhanga. He was also part of the recently successful under-20 national side, that is the Hippos, speaking about the Uganda Cranes.
We are going for this Vipers Sports Club. So far the training is very good, we are training very well, the weather is nice. Yeah, I think we are going to perform very well in the CHAN. Our coaches are preparing us very well. If I'm given a chance, I will go and work hard so that I can make my country proud and all our fans. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. He'll be fighting for his opportunities. If given a chance, he'll be hoping to deliver for the Uganda Cranes. Diego, before we get to the breaks, the pre-CHAN tournament, we know Mitchell's Zambia are in the camp. Niger are part of this one here, and the host Cameroon between the 1st and the 7th of January. And then starting the 16th, the CHAN kicks off.
You know, we left when the camp already disorganized, just because of the dismissal of Fred Kajoba.
Yeah.
Indeed, what they did was the right thing, because every camp has its rules and regulations. If you fail to observe those regulations, there's nothing like you are staying. If we say that there is no going out, indeed, when you go and they get you, automatically you will be left out. But the way it was done, there was unfairness, because other people have been getting out. Still, because we've set our regulations that nobody should leave this camp. And those others have been getting out. The other Ayubo, the fitness coach, sports scientists, on 24th, he went to the bank. And then Coach Abdallah, the assistant, has been on 3 occasions, has been going to Nagulu to work to say his driving permit. So that's all going out. Mackenzie, the head coach, he is not been into the camp. So there was double standards. That alone, we left here because the team, I think now they have gone. Yeah. We've left when we are disorganized. But indeed, they have brought in someone. That is Coach Sadiq Wasa. And to me, it wasn't the right choice. Much as there was Mugisha, there was Daniel Lumu, Arada Chwanuka of Express, and Sadiq Wasa. But all of them wasn't my choice. To me, I thought Chigundu, since it is a local-based tournament, Stephen Bire Chigundu would have been the best coach. Because when you look at the coaches around, the goalkeeping coaches, Chigundu is the best. I look at the way he had during his time at Vipers. He had the goalkeepers. Who? Someone in Zambia now, Alitho James, and Ismail Watenga. By the time he was there, none of them you would question if he's given the first choice in goal. Then they were all at the national team. Then he left there. Things didn't work. Then he went to URA. You see what he did, when it came to Alitha and now Alliance.
Because Diego, it's a big conversation. If the rules have been put in place, obviously one of the people who breaches them is going to be the biggest culprit to serve as an example.
Exactly.
But then also recently, this is not the first time we're seeing Fred Kajuba staying away from the team this year. Because if you remember earlier, he missed the AFCON doubleheader for so many different personal reasons that were never explained to the people. But he's been part of the team for more than a decade. Comes with a lot of experience. How much of that are we going to miss with Sadiq coming in now?
I don't know. Coach Sadiq Wasa in the past decade, or rather in this decade, I don't know which goalkeepers he has managed to do a work properly. So there are so many questions, like I've been saying.
Okay.
That's why I have said the right person would have been Stephen Bire Chigundu. Maybe because he has just been with the under-20 team and they want more guys to travel. I don't know.
Let's get here from Coach Fred Kajuba speaking about the incident that also cost him his job with the Uganda Cranes.
Eky'omutendesi ogwo tekyandibadde kibi ku nsonga eriwo ya COVID ne ttiimu engeri gyeyadde yeeteeseteeseemu kuba tuba tusuubira nti omuntu waba avudde mu nkambi nga buno obulwadde weebuli ate ojja otatankanya abasambi okuddamu bakebera bayinza okusanga nga mulimu abalwadde naye kati ku nsonga eyo wadde agobeddwa Uganda Cranes ejja kusigala ng'ekola bulungi kuba y'amaanyi.
Ekintu ekyo nsuubira tekyabadde kirungi alabika yakozesezza obusungu bungi era kyemanye enkambi ndowooza yafunyemuko ku buzibuzibu obutonotono kiyinza obbakosa nga batuuse eri mu tournament.
Bannange tuswaleko okusinza Katonda kyava dda bajjajja ne bajjajja baffe nga amakyaki weegali amasabo weegali amakanisa weegali si kirungi nnyo. Omutendesi bamuleke abeerewo agenda akole kyalina okukola bamwongere n'omusaala.
Poze ekyenjawulo ekiriwo nti nogwe baleese naye ayinamuko experience awo tekiyinza otaasataasamuko.
Eyagenza okusaba lwaki yagenza okusaba Katonda akwate ku mitima gy'abalina omusasula basobole bamwongere ku musaala.
Game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.
Big stars here.
As far as Maugula North constituency is concerned, the party made a decision that it was not going to forward flag bearers, and that's the situation. Once it had decided that it was not going to forward flag bearers, then that process, as far as that constituency is concerned, is closed. Nonetheless, we have filed a notice of appeal. We intend to challenge that ruling because, unlike previous rulings, in these circumstances, when a party member goes to court, we have always argued that once the process has been closed in the Electoral Commission, such an application is of no consequence. It is moot and is for academic exercise. Unfortunately, the court on this occasion disagreed with us and would like to put that record straight by going to the Court of Appeal, which we have done.
place with Uganda is not a permanent situation. It's about how are you performing right now, and we're very pleased with our overseas players. Like, of the players coming that we are inviting for this camp, I think 16, 17 of them are starting every week for their club, and 1 or 2 of them, whilst they might be substitutes, they're getting 30, 40, 50 minutes every week. So, you know, all of our foreign-based players, we're very pleased with where they are at the moment.
Kibagamba kikanuka group akatono kemulaba emiliyoni 45 esuubi balirina muffe esuubi balina muffe ebigenda kuba byangu bigenda kubamu amaziga bigenda kubamu obulumi bigenda kubamu amakomera ne temugwamu maanyi baganda bange temugwamu ki temugwamu maanyi.
Big Stars here.
Game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.
Welcome back from that short break. For those that are just joining us, we're still saying welcome back from the holidays, and certainly Happy New Year going out to you and your loved ones as well. But remember, the question we are asking, we took to the streets as well before the break to hear from some of you regarding the decision by FIFA to sack the goalkeeping coach of the Uganda Cranes, Fred Kajoba, after flouting some of the COVID-19 guidelines that had been put in place. Was it the right decision? Should he have been pardoned? Want to hear from you? Yes or no? Facebook, Urban Television, Twitter at Urban TV Uganda. Quickly, let's get to move on to KCCA Football Club because this coming week they'll be playing the return leg of the CAF Confederations Cup qualifiers as they take on AS Kigali. The first leg having to be cancelled. KCCA failing to provide the number of players that was required. Ultimately, AS Kigali awarded a 2-0 win. For KCCA, the ball is in their court. And interestingly, they're playing this tie at the St. Mary Stadium in Chitende.
It would have been bad news if they are to play in Nambole, which has natural grass, because KCCA, when it comes to natural grass, they always find it hard to win games. And recently was in Bombo. You remember what happened between SB and them. Now the other thing, like last time I said, it was advantageous for KCC for this game to be cancelled, just because you never know what would have happened. First of all, you don't have a goalkeeper. You are using a midfielder as a goalkeeper, much as he has ever been a goalkeeper. And I think he stopped being in goal in his senior too, since so many years have gone. And now, and even in the outside, the other players, you so many are missing players. So if you are given, if you lose this game with the 3 points and 2 goals, at least that is better, I think, because when you come into Kampala, you whatever it takes to win this game, and I think some of their key players that were missing just because of COVID would be ready to play this game, and I think KCC will not find it so hard to get the 3 points, and if that qualify, they need to win this game with the 3-0
margin. But interestingly, Diego, we've seen the Chitende Stadium. On top of bailing out KCCA now, previously they've bailed out the Uganda Cranes in the recent past because the Mandela National Stadium has been used as a COVID center. You know, the Lugogo Stadium was not approved because it did not meet some of the requirements put in place by CAF. And then somehow everybody has been running to the Chitende Stadium, which looks like it's the only stadium that passed all the requirements, both by FIFA and CAF. And it brings back a conversation of how many options do we have. Imagine a scenario where we had so many teams taking part in different competitions, alternatively at the same time. Wouldn't that even sort of put more pressure on the facility?
You know what? This is a challenge to the government, because if an individual can have the stadium What has government done to ensure that at least we have more stadiums that can meet the international standards that are recognized? Cases are raised. They have been telling us that they lead and others follow. Now it's the vice versa. And now we can see who is leading and who is following. Mulindwa didn't build that stadium. That means KCC would have gone to a foreign country just to play their game from there. Something that would have ashamed the entire country as well as the club.
There is also plans in place, works in the pipeline to make sure that they get to upgrade the MTN Omondi Stadium into a high, state-of-the-art facility that will also have a sitting area, all the other provisions as well. Does this now mean that it even increases the urgency to have it in place?
They are supposed to get 1 billion every quarter, I think, because they were given 10 billions for that work, the construction of Philip Omondi Stadium, and I think it's high time for them to do this as quickly as possible. Just because you're playing this year, even the next year you will be in Africa, you'll be playing at the continent level. What will happen? Will you continue going to Chitende? Then there is national teams. What if the fixture collides? Cases are playing and even the national team is playing. We don't know what will happen to Nambole. Up to now, it still has the COVID-19 as it is a center now for COVID. What will happen if Cases is playing? Vipers praying at the same weekend, and then Uganda Cranes has to play. What will happen there?
The argument has been perhaps the Nachivubo Stadium is long overdue. By this point in time, it should have been completed and available for use. And again, it brings back conversation of what our priorities as a sports industry are, because some of these things have been taken for granted. So many things have been prioritized ahead of facilities that are supposed to help our sport grow.
As sports people, our main interest would have been sports. But look, the others, the Hamuchiguns, they are business persons. What are their interests? Is it the sport? Because for them, they told us that Nachivubo will be done within 2 years. After now, what they did, they first built the arcades around the stadium, and the work is ongoing. I can't tell you that by this year or this time it will be done. That means we still have a long way to go. As we talk now, we have only one stadium that can meet the international requirements. That is St. Mary's Stadium.
Okay, there you go. Next week, 6th of January, for KCCA Football Club, they'll be welcoming AS Kigali. They'll be hoping to overturn a 2-0 deficit to book themselves a place in the first and final round of qualifiers if they're going to make their second CAF Confederations Cup group stages appearance. Last time they did this was in 2018, and they'll be hoping to hear from the CEO to pretty much share her sentiments regarding what it means for the club to be able to play in Chitende. But let's talk the Real Stars monthly awards that do get returned tomorrow. Actually, they will be awarding some of the most outstanding sports personalities for the month of December coming from November, especially for the sports that had activities in the recent past, including golf. Remember the Uganda Golf Amateur Open, football, the under-17 boys in action recently, some of the most outstanding players from the Masaza Cup and the League Cup and the domestic league, and then also for the cricket fans, we had the Uganda Elite League for the women. And let's look at some of the nominees that you've got from the game of football. Obviously, you've got names coming through, including Oscar Mawa, top scorer from that is the under-17 Sekafa recently. You've got Brian Laheba from KCCA. He's also one of the top scorers from the league, also for the Uganda Cranes. And then Michael Utaya from the Maogola Saza goalkeeper. For the golf fraternity, you've got Joseph Kasozi from Chilembe Mines Golf Club, from the Uganda Golf Amateur Open, Christopher Baguma from the Entebbe Golf Club, and then Michael Alunga from the Uganda Golf Club of Kampala. They all finished behind the Kenyan John Lejema at the Uganda Golf Amateur Open. From cricket, you've got Christine Anai from the Soroti Challenge Cricket Club. She was also part of the Elite Ladies League. You've got Rachel Ntono from Aziz Damani, who are the champions, and then Immaculate Nachisui from Aziz Damani as well. I've got 9 nominees from 3 sports disciplines. Each of them will have the winner. Quickly,
and some cash.
And some cash coming with it. Diego, how important is it that the culture of awarding outstanding sports personalities, like the Will Stars Awards have done in the past, continues?
You know, this motivates different sports personalities. Not only in recognition, but still it also boosts their wallets, because apart from winning the award, there is a token that comes with the award. So that's good. When you go to the contenders, the nominees, when it comes to football, I would say all of the 3 deserves it, but there is some that person that should win the award. You go to Lutaya, the Magola goalkeeper. He did so well when in the just concluded Abotikiro group in Masaza tournament that is going on in Injeru. He was the goalkeeper of Magola. He didn't concede any goal. I don't recall him conceding any goal. So is there. And then you come to Brian Ahewa as the league top scorer. He has scored 7 goals in the month of December, and he is there. Then there is Isaac Mawa. Yeah, he was the top scorer in the Sekafa Under-17 tournament that was held in Rwanda. Then he helped the Cubs to go to win the trophy, as well as qualifying to the finals of Africa. So there is local competition and international competition. When it comes to such an award, that means an international competition takes over the local competition. And I can say, to me, Isaac Mawa should be awarded this award just because he was the top scorer in an international tournament. Secondly, he helped Uganda to retain the trophy, and helping Uganda to qualify to the finals of Africa. Okay,
we know January will come with more sports, which means perhaps more categories as well. Sports like cricket coming on board, sports like golf as well coming on board. When we see more sports being added to the Real Stars Award with every passing month, January also, should we be hoping that more disciplines will come on board for their categories? Yeah, I know one thing I know with these Rio Stars guys, for them, they are not about one sport. They are about all the sports that the finest players in different sports disciplines. So even they can give, they can award 80 people from different sports disciplines because they have that capacity. The token is there, and even the awards they are there. Okay. Will I see you there tomorrow? Tomorrow, exactly. Definitely have to be there. Why not? There you go. Those are the Real Stars Awards that will be happening tomorrow. And certainly we'll be here to bring you all the details on who emerges as the winner and who pretty much gets to knock off the rest from their patch to be crowned the sports personality for the month of December. And I'll definitely be there as well. Quickly, let's get to move on now. Talk some, action happening in tennis because the Australian Open should have kicked off in January. It has been pushed forward up until February, early February, and we do understand that for Andy Murray, he's been given a wild card to be able to play at the tournament, regardless of missing the better part of the 2020 season. Given his status in the sport and his performances in the past, he's been given an opportunity to play. For Andy, he played about 6 matches the whole of 2020 because of injuries, having to stay away for so many different reasons. And last year, I remember he lost in the semi-finals, and so many people are thinking this might be his last opportunity to probably play any of the golf in the grass slams, actually the tennis. And so many fans thought that at this point in time, he was going to retire. He's been hampered by injuries. Somehow he's coming back next year.
You know, if we can still push, why can't he continue? Let him continue pushing. One time he realizes that, you know what, maybe I can no longer manage playing tennis. But if he feels he can still push, let him push. There are names that you shouldn't even wish to miss when it comes to tennis. The Malays, when it comes to women, the Serena Williams, much as they are aged, but there are still big names that you would wish, you would love to see on the court while playing. So I think if he's still able to push, let him push.
Speaking of players that are pushing, it looks like for Roger Federer, he'll be sitting out because recently he had knee surgery. He's been recuperating for the last couple of months. The team around him have come out and confirmed that at 39 years of age, unfortunately, he'll miss the season opener, which is the Australian Open.
Yeah, nothing to do, because if you're injured, you've just got a surgery. We can't force you. Can't force you to come from your recovery to come and play a competitive thing like this. So we are going to miss Roger Federer, but we have nothing to do. We just wish him a quick recovery.
Okay, that is tennis for you. Quickly, let's cross into some basketball right now. Action across the NBA did tip off. That was last week. Games coming thick and fast for the LA Clippers, suffering the worst halftime, decline in NBA history. They had a 50-point deficit by halftime of their game against the Dallas Mavericks, and they were trailing 77-27 by halftime. That is the first time in the history of the NBA that we see a team going behind by more than 50 points before they went on to close the game by 127-73. Still one of their worst performances without their star man. That happens to be Kawhi Leonard. Quite the shocker, because you look at the Clippers, they had a brilliant start, beat up on the Lakers in their opener, and then without their star man this morning, somehow by halftime, after playing 24 minutes of the first and the second quarter, they had gone 50 points down.
You know, it was bad news for them, and the entire game was won in the first half.
Yeah.
Because going, it is the first time maybe in the NBA history, for a team to go down, to that extent. So however much they tried to fight back, it wouldn't happen just because the game was killed in the first half. So it was bad news for them. They won against LA Lakers, and I thought maybe they're going to continue winning. Shockingly, if I can say, results this time around, results didn't go their way.
And it's disappointing because look at the Clippers from the West. They're one of the top seeds. So many fans will be looking out for them to go the distance in the playoffs. So not the best of scenes there to look out for. And they lost at home, which actually makes it even worse for the fans of the LA Clippers.
So they have made history?
Yes, that is no team has ever been 50 points down by halftime. So it's as bad as it gets for them. But let's hope they get recovered from this one here.
You never know if they don't continue losing.
Let's hope so. Quickly, let's cross into some football now. The Global Soccer Awards happening in Dubai over the weekend, and I'll quickly run you through some of the winners from the individual categories, and the big winner being Cristiano Ronaldo, being voted for as the player of the century after his outstanding performances for the last 15 years or so when he's been involved in the game of football. Robert Lewandowski, player of the year for the year 2020. Bayern Munich being crowned the club of the year 2020. The coach of that is Bayern Munich, Hansi Flick, also emerging the coach of the year. Like I mentioned, player of the century going to Cristiano Ronaldo, head of Lionel Messi. Club of the century being Real Madrid there for you. And the rest of the winners, coach of the century going to Pep Guardiola, agent of the century going to George Mendes, and the player career award being given to Gerard Piqué and Casillas, who had to split this one here amongst themselves. Let's start with Cristiano Ronaldo, though. We've run through some of his achievements, but this probably continue to seal his place as not just one of the greatest of this generation, but the greatest of all time, like some of these awards continue to give him.
You know, when you see Ronaldo getting that award, you just know, like I said, the debate, I think, has been answered by the award givers. This is a century award, and it is given to someone, to me, I think, for sure, indeed, he deserved it, because it's that person who has won several trophies, with different clubs. Lionel Messi has won what he has managed to achieve, all in one team. Ronaldo, he won a UEFA Champions League in Man United. He won 3 Premier League titles. And then he left United. He went to Madrid. He won 4 Champions League and 3 La Liga. So I personally, that one, I think I deserved to be named the player of the century. Much as he beat Mo Salah, Ronaldinho, and who else?
Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi. Hey.
Because for Cristiano, the conversation has always been hard work can actually beat talent. Some will argue he may not be the most gifted player as Lionel Messi might be.
Exactly.
But he's going to outwork anybody at any team he has been at. His work ethic is something that has propelled him to become the player that he is. And you look at him, 35 years plus, he doesn't look like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon, because even this season, we see him banging those goals both in the Champions League
like and
in the league. So he says for him, he'll go up until 40 plus. And again, incredible things these guys have done.
He works a lot. He knows how to maintain his shape, his body. As much as he has more than enough money, you would have thought that maybe someone becomes arrogant. He doesn't care anything. He has what it takes. Even if he doesn't do something, he has the money. So, but still, he knows what he wants. Like Lionel Messi still. But that duo, they have been here for a decade. And whoever wins an award, you won't complain, because they have achieved whatever is necessary.
Hansi Flick, the FIFA Best Awards may not have recognized him. The Global Soccer Awards have recognized him. Robert Lewandowski, undoubtedly the best player for the last 365 days. He as well being recognized. And then for Pep Guardiola, I don't think so many people have any question marks about his accolade.
No, he did what he did at Barcelona since from 2008 and then to 2012. I won around 14 trophies, including the La Ligas and the Champions League. So that one, has no question. But like I said last time when we are talking about the FIFA awards, I was like, when I saw these FIFA guys naming Jurgen Klopp as the coach of the year, I was, what the hell is this? Because for all of us, we know what Fritz did. He joined the team late after the sacking of Jovic, and he guided the team to the Bundesliga and the Champions League. So he is that person that would have deserved that award.
Okay, those are some of the winners from the Dubai Global Soccer Awards. Before we wrap up the show, let's run you through some of the results from the weekend, because the English Premier League left the only league standing as most of the leagues went on a break. And those are some of the results flashing on your screen. A 1-0 draw between Wolves and Tottenham at the Molyneux. 1-0 between Liverpool and West Brom at the Anfield. 2-2 between West Ham and Brighton at the London Stadium. Leeds, meanwhile, picking up a 1-0 win at home against Burnley. 2-0 for Manchester City at the Etihad. That was against Newcastle over the weekend. And we also did get to see Everton picking up a 1-0 win at the Bramall Lane against Sheffield United. 3-1 for Arsenal against Chelsea in the London Derby. 3-0 for Aston Villa at the Villa Park against Crystal Palace. Goalless between Fulham and Southampton at the Craven Cottages. 2-2 between Leicester City and Manchester United. Also, let's look at the table standings in the English Premier League right now after 15 games have been played. And you've got Liverpool top of the summit on 32 points. In second place is Everton on 28 points. Manchester United in fourth place behind Leicester City, who are third. You've got Tottenham in fifth, Manchester City in sixth, Aston Villa in seventh place, Chelsea, Southampton are ninth, and then West Ham close out the top 10. Arsenal do remain 15th in the standings, but massive 3 points for Mikel Arteta and his boys over the weekend.
I think that was a good recovery from the 7 games that they have gone without a win, because they last won a Premier League game on 1st November when they beat Man United 1-0, and they have gone those 7 games without a win. So winning 3-1 against Chelsea, I think it was a boost to the team, and we don't know what is going to happen when they face against Brighton. You recall very well. Arteta was given just 2 games. If he fails to win them, he was going to be sacked. But I don't know. Now he has managed to win Chelsea. Will he do the same against Brighton? That is another question. Then to Chelsea, Frank Lampard, pressure now starts mounting at him because there are rumors saying that if he continues with this form, he's going to be sacked. And you know, Tuchel, of the former PSG guy, is there. There's Maximilian Allegri. He was given much money, 250 million pounds, given to him in signing new players. Last time he wasn't given that Kenai. So this time, Roman Abramovich don't expect him to be more soft like he was before when he had not injected in money. But now he has injected in 250 M. Just know that pressure has to be on Lampard.
The youngsters for Arsenal coming in. Saka, fantastic goal for their second. Xhaka hitting a brilliant one there for them as well. Lacazette converting from the spot. The kids though, Gabriel Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe, some of the young kids from the academy look like they came and turned it on.
Yeah, you know, their players who needs to prove. Much as Arteta sometimes breathes a lot in these old guards, but these boys, when they come on, they have something to prove. They need to prove the coach that, you know what, much as we are not considering us much, but we are the people that can do the job. These guys, they have been there, they have managed, they have failed to do the job. In the 7 games, they haven't done anything apart from maybe getting some draws. But you have a team that has like 3-4 kids, young players, and they come and beat a team that maybe many I thought was going to beat Arsenal, and they have really they did the job.
Okay, for Manchester United, a tough nut to crack for Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. Each of them leaving with a point.
United, when it comes to Boxing Day, is a team that knows how to play Boxing Day games. They have lost just 2 games on Boxing Day. I recall very well against Stoke City in 2015 and Middlesbrough some time back. Then still, when you look at the meetings between Leicester and Man United, always United has been coming out victorious. This time round, Leicester, maybe they got their tactics well because they didn't give that space that time for United to have those spaces where to play. Bruno Fernandes, much as he scored a goal, but he wasn't the usual Bruno Fernandes win. Also, a lot was done by the Leicester coach.
Okay, before we get to go, the big one today, we'll get to see that is Manchester City in action. Obviously, they come up against Everton. How would you call this one as we go quickly?
I would say for bettors, this is a tip. Under. And you don't expect so many goals when it comes to Everton Man City game. Why do I say this? It's because just Man City, they are no longer scoring those goals, and for them to score 3 goals in a single game, it is that time for them. And for you, if you were to go to this game, I would say that you go for under, and it is likely to be at 2.5.
Okay, the other one, Chelsea Aston Villa.
Chelsea Aston Villa. 3 games gone without a win. Chelsea, I think, with the pressure on Frank Lampard with and his boys, I think they will do whatever it takes to get 3 points.
Crystal Palace, Leicester City as we go.
Oh my God, this is a game that even I wouldn't want to comment much as Leicester drew with the Man United, but they are playing Crystal Palace at home. Crystal Palace lost their last game, and I think Leicester could resist it and get a draw or win.
Okay, there you go. That definitely does bring us to the end of the show. As we get wrap it up, as you let us know, do you think FIFA was right to fire Coach Fred Kajoba from the Cranes camp for flaunting the COVID-19 SOPs? 62% of you that voted said yes, the decision was definitely right. They should stand by their grounds. 38% of you are saying no, he should not have been fired. Once again, many thanks to everyone that took part in the Game On poll. And the show returns tomorrow, 2:30 to 3:30. Be sure to join us then. From myself and Diego, happy holidays one more time. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow, and it's a wrap.
Game on. It's game on. We are big on sports. Big on sports.
Big stars here.
Coming up.